Hi everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you all. This is such an amazing fair. It's so many businesses are here. It's great to be here. Thank you, Web Hotelier, for inviting us. It's a real honor. So this is a little bit about me. I'm Theano. I'm based in Dublin in Google, in the EMEA headquarters. And basically I am in my third year and my third year in Travel Peak. So I've prepared with multiple hotels here in Greece on how to prepare yourself to be ready for the next Travel Peak, for this year's Travel Peak basically. So, it is very sensitive. So one of the main things that I've been talking with our customers is, so they know, most of them are like, okay, so this is great, digital advertising is amazing, but how is the next level going to be? Where can we find our customers earlier on, basically, so we can get ahead of a competition? So this is what we're going to be talking about today: how to understand the traveler in anticipating 2025. And then on the second part, we're going to have a look into the trends of, let's say, what are people looking into? So what are they interested in doing in their holidays? And then in the last part, we're going to look into the action items. So what can you guys do about it? Right. Okay. So a little bit of data insights to start off. So we actually ran a really interesting survey last August on travelers that were going to be traveling in the next 12 months. One of the questions that we asked was, through which channels will you likely make your next travel booking? And here we have all the European countries as well as the 3 continents, so Middle East, Europe, and North America. So for Middle East, travelers prefer using OTAs. Through their website, it's 15%, 17% from apps, and 13% from agencies. Europe, on the other hand, prefers to book on websites for both direct suppliers and OTAs. So that's very positive for us, really. Then North America prefer direct suppliers via apps and direct websites, 12%. What is really interesting, I thought, about this is that our market, so the Greek market, actually prefers by 29% to book directly, which is quite positive, as well as Netherlands has a 21% of direct bookings. They prefer to go on your website and directly book. Also, on the next slide, what we had a look into was are cost of living concerns impacting your upcoming trip? So what's the financial situation? What are we going to be expecting for the next season? So with rising costs, 42% of North America travelers plan to reduce their budgets and take shorter trips. Then 33% of Middle Eastern travelers also plan to take shorter trips and reduce budgets. But it's not all bad news. European travelers plan to maintain the same budget as last trip. Especially we can see those German travelers really sticking to the same budget, as well as planning to, some of them have longer stays. So as well as we can see that Europe is the positive part in this in the living cost concerns in terms of traveling. So next question: when booking your next trip, which factors are most important to you? This is something that we're really interested in as well. So pricing remains priority across travelers in all regions. Pricing is key. So Middle East is 24%, North America 20%, and Europe 20% of this is a priority, lower prices, whereas following the travelers prioritize brand, reputation, and trust. this is a big one. Trust is a big one. We can see it almost in every region, around 19%. So going forward, let's see the state of travel. So let's have a look into what actually are people interested in doing in their holidays. So when we think about leisure travel, what excites you the most? This is the question that we made. And 54% are looking to spend time with family or friends, especially baby boomers. This is what they want to do. So they want to go on holidays, they want to be with their family, they want to be with their friends. Second one is relaxing and reducing stress levels. So this is an environment, they want to find an environment where they will really, truly relax. This is very important for both baby boomers and millennials. And then the third one is escaping from a day-to-day. So looking for a different experience, basically. I think this is the part that really astonished me about how people are really returning into the family and friends and being with people in holidays. So, as well as looking to be with family and friends, what we're seeing is a huge trend into more premium rooms. So, into more premium into more premium, let's say, rooms. So the average daily rate bucket of the $300 plus has been very much positively affected. So it's 28% year over year. And you can actually see how much people have been, since 2021, the whole industry is going towards a more premium state. So here, what we can see here is basically the Gen Z and the millennials, but also the baby boomers as a generations. Where do they sit in terms of traveler share? So which pool has the most average trip cost? So whereas Gen Z and millennials are the biggest market, so they're basically 2.5 times more than boomers in the US. But despite that, they have they have very similar travel habits and preferences. So they are very much a similar generation. Boomers are a smaller group, but they have the larger disposable income to spend. So their trip spending is twice as much of what the younger generation is spending, although they travel less often. So we can see baby boomers there have an average trip cost of $3,213, which then the younger generations, which is Gen Z and millennials, they choose to travel based on their passions instead of the destination. So it's really a difference in the choices that they make, and they're mostly based on their passions, on their personal passions, rather than the destination. Example of a passion journey, let's say, would be a food-focused journey, or an educational vacation, or an ecotourism experience. 63% say that they will purchase tickets or plan activities for that trip prior to purchasing a plane ticket. So they are really focused on what's actually happening on the activity part and the passion part. So travel is not just what you do, but who you are. It's part of their identity. That's why it's so linked with their experience. It is indeed very sensitive. Back to boomers. So boomers are starting to spend more money, as mentioned before. Interestingly enough, the leisure budget growth comparison to last year by generation, it's 19% up. So mostly they have a lot more disposable income, basically, and they're ready to spend it in experiences in international travel. So in the US, boomer share of travel in public is expected to rise from 28% to 34%. So we've figured out that boomers really want to travel, and they are really happy to do this, but they are spending 70% of them are spending more time researching products to make sure it's the best one of them. So 2 in 3 consumers believe that making the right decision requires more effort than it used to. What does that tell us? It tells us that they really do their research. They're not just going in and saying, oh, this looks nice, let me just book it. They are spending time researching. So for example, they'd go in and see their location, what's around the hotel, what type of experience is offered around it. So it's something that they spend a lot of time. So they're planning ahead for a long trip with greater focus on the discovery phase. The discovery phase is that 70% that we mentioned. Here we can see from the look ahead window, let's say, of what people are actually booking, the days that they're booking ahead of their planned trip. And as the years go by, we can see that there's a trend of booking a lot more ahead than we used to. So through the searches, though the searches might be more seasonal, travelers keep watching travel content and they plan their trips prior to January actually. So we can actually see that YouTube watch time on holiday content has gone up to 28% year over year. So basically they've been researching all throughout November, December in order to make that booking later on the year. So 8% of the time spent on the preparation phase is on bookings. So it's a very small part of it, very, very, very thought out from their side, but also a very important part. So another increasingly trend that we see in the industry is that there is a big opportunity within Q4 with different, let's say, seasonality peaks. And this is, let's say, Black Friday, which is coming next week. This is the sort of seasonality peak we will be looking at, even for travel. So things that we see that consumers really are looking for deals, even in retail peaks, basically. We can see like Black Friday holiday deals. This is another thing which is a great, it's another seasonal peak as well that has been seen by McKinsey and Company. They have a hotel and cruise and airline bookings from the US travelers actually see a spike in Travel Tuesdays. So Travel Tuesdays, every Tuesday, we see an increase of searches, and airlines often lower their prices on Tuesdays. And that's why we actually see this sort of spike as well. So there is, we've kind of figured out that basically November to December, generic searches are increasing. So people are researching on Google and on YouTube on where they will be going on holidays. For us, it is a big opportunity to actually take advantage of the generic search part in Q4, and then within June, let's say in June, you would be able to be in the branded searches a lot more vividly. So this is creating basically a white space for brands. How can you be present in this white space? So when travelers prepare, of course, what they will review your hotel ad. This is the basis. You all know this. They will review the photos. They will compare prices, availability before booking. They'll have a look into your descriptions. They'll have a look into their reviews. This is very, very important, as you all know. So what's the next step? The next step would be going on your website, searching for your information, looking at videos. These are all things that are super important. This example is from Brown Hotels, which we actually did a really innovative Think with Google case study, where they had been following best practices and more on their innovative approach on digital. So this is, let's say, a consumer would go in and see all these three parts. Very, very important to invest in this sort of thing. And with Google, how can you actually take advantage of all of this? With AI-powered campaigns, you can reach your customers in the planning phase. So in this period, you can actually take advantage of YouTube Shorts, YouTube feeds, Discovery, Gmail, and all the formats that we offer. Thank you. This was, oh no, sorry, it was one slide. And last but not least, take action now to be set up for your peak season. So for us, it's 4 things. Adapt quickly to demand. Be present early with information that drives confidence to the users. The booking moment is the king, so activate hotel ads to boost your profitability and ultimately be the source of travel inspiration. Thank you. Also, lastly, if you do not have an account manager with Google, please take if you want to do this process of helping you to prepare for 2025, there is a form where you can talk with somebody from Google to help you out. Thank you.